What's going on, boxing fans? It's Julian Williams with The Distance, here with a video for you guys today. This one is Muhammad Ali versus Iron Mike Tyson, the fantasy matchup, the one that everybody's been waiting for the longest time. Number 50. So anyway, to cut all the bullshit, I'm just gonna go straight into the matchup. Muhammad Ali, perhaps 64 through 67, was more than likely his best years as a heavyweight. He was faster. He was faster. He stayed on the outside a lot more than he did, when he came back in 71 through 75 during that time period. He was a different fighter when he came back in 71 because, he wasn't as fast. He didn't really have the reflexes, and, he had to be much smarter and adjust to a different style. He still stayed on the outside, but there were times that he stood in front of you in fights. But 64 through 67, Muhammad Ali in his prime when he first won around the time he first won the heavyweight championship was amazing. He was, he dancing outside. He had that beautiful left jab, pretty good hand speed, good footwork, great combinations that he put together, and his left jab was very genius. Because he used his left jab for a lot of different things. He used the left jab to sometimes create space. He would hook off the jab. Sometimes he'd set it up for another left jab, or he'd set it up with for a right hand. He had lightning fast hand speed. He had very good footwork. He stayed on the outside. He danced with opponents. He was able to actually create angles. He would fight from angles, and he would fight off the ropes at times. And early in his career, he had very good head movement. See, the style of Muhammad Ali was to hit and not be hit. That was just the early style of Muhammad Ali, was to hit and not be hit. And he evaded shots very well, and even when he got caught in the corners early in his career, especially from the right side, or the left side, he was able to get out of the corner very quickly, turn around, and then the opponent's on the ropes, because the opponent has to turn around, and they're caught up on the ropes, eating the combination from Muhammad Ali. That was how genius he was and how great he was as a young heavyweight at about 21. Muhammad Ali is perhaps one of the most skilled, tactical fighters of all time. He was able to adjust to any style and knew how to win. Iron Mike Tyson early in his career was knocking out everybody, until I believe he fought James Tillis, and that fight went the distance. I think it was his first fight that went the distance. It was against James Tillis. Iron Mike Tyson did a very good job of going to the body and moving forward and pressuring, and not necessarily pressuring to hit a fighter, but pressuring and consistently coming forward in fights. And early in his career, he would land that left. He would throw the left jab and land a nice clean hook to the body. See, Iron Mike Tyson did a very good job of getting the shots off on the inside and countering with some really good power shots. And at the same time, Iron Mike Tyson was knocking out everybody. He was even knocked out Larry Holmes, though you can dispute and debate because he was about 40 years old at the time. Tyson's the only person to knock out Larry Holmes, and the only person to knock out Michael Spinks in one round in a matter of seconds. And so pretty much the prime of Iron Mike Tyson was monstrous. He looked like he was going to have a reign of terror, if he would have stayed focused, of course. So pretty much you have two fighters who were monsters in their prime, who were great fighters in their prime. And one fighter's prime was taken away from him. The other fighter pretty much let himself go. But if you get these two together in the ring, what would happen? I see in a fight like this, Tyson coming forward and Muhammad Ali using his footwork pretty much to get out of the way and dictating the fight with the left jab. I do see Muhammad Ali landing all kinds of left jabs in the fight, but I do see Tyson giving him a little bit of trouble because Tyson's going to keep coming forward, and Tyson had very good upper body movement and predominantly to the left side. He would start out going to the left side and then to the right, and and then if he missed, he could come up, put across a good combination that could probably put you down for the count. That's how powerful he was. Just think of a more skilled Smoking Joe Frazier. A more skilled Smoking Joe Frazier describes Iron Mike Tyson. Except Tyson's punches were a little more crisp, and he had a bit more power than Smoking Joe. But in this fight, do you think that Muhammad Ali would stand and trade with Iron Mike Tyson? I doubt it. I think that in this fight, it's just going to be a typical Muhammad Ali 64 to 67 fight. Muhammad Ali staying on the outside and throwing his left jab, and even if he misses, he's going to follow up with another left jab, which was basically Muhammad Ali's style, was the left jab. That's what he started out with, and pretty much he got his shots off first as well because he was so fast and lightning quick. And I see when Tyson gets close, I see Muhammad Ali holding the head down. But when Muhammad Ali's holding the head down, Tyson was strong enough to get in some really good shots to the body, and pretty much just do it all 12 rounds. Come inside, and when Ali holds the head down, I believe Tyson was strong enough to get his shots in, and possibly even land the right and left uppercut that Tyson was very good at landing. See, Muhammad Ali, I do see him getting out of corners easily, but I do see him getting on the ropes just as well and getting trapped on the ropes against Iron Mike Tyson. I'd see in a fight like this, Iron Mike Tyson winning maybe the first 3-4 rounds. I think that he's going to consistently pressure Muhammad Ali, and I believe he's going to hit Ali with his best shots. But his best shots, more than likely, they might stun Ali, and he might go down. But from rounds maybe 5 through 12, or wherever, I see Muhammad Ali coming and pulling it off. I see Muhammad Ali getting the knockout in the 12th round. I think that Muhammad Ali is going to consistently throw his left jab. He's going to consistently stay on the outside. I think eventually with that peekaboo type style that Tyson has, over a matter of rounds, I think the Ali jab is going to penetrate that defensive guard of Mike Tyson. Even though Tyson can come forward and move side to side, I think that a Muhammad Ali jab where he follows it up and can do so much with that jab, and sometimes get in the right hand, and was actually sneaking in with as fast as his hand speed was. I think that eventually that guard is going to break, and Muhammad Ali is going to end up giving Tyson a lot of hell with the constant movement, the angles, the ability to get out of corners, the ability to, pretty much to give Tyson trouble, because I doubt that Ali will fight with him. I think that Ali will probably have this fight before it even happens, because think of the mind games involved. Because let's face it, Iron Mike Tyson was unhinged before he even started as a boxer. I think that Ali could get to him with the constant talking, and on top of that, Ali was able to back it up in the ring. So pretty much, I got Muhammad Ali by 12th round stoppage, because I think that eventually later on, Muhammad Ali's left jab is going to penetrate that guard, and when it penetrates the guard, I think that Tyson will probably take that step back, because remember, Ali could fight going backwards, and I think Ali will just overwhelm him with shots and take this fight. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for sending me fantasy matchups. This is number 50, the special midnight edition, though it doesn't seem like midnight. But anyway, thanks for watching. That was The Distance. Peace.